We're going to talk about the Marvels a little later, but I do want to talk about it because you kind of mentioned what these writers or creatives, using that term very loosely, are leading with. Our good friend here, Tim Sheridan, over at DC Comics. This is Wednesday, so this book actually comes out today. A lot of y'all have already seen this, but for the sake of the content, the stream, the video, whatever, I do want to go through this, and we're going to suffer through this again.
And so are you.
Yeah. And so this is Tim Sheridan. He's a writer of this book that actually, I believe that's the one that's out there in the background, Alan Scott's Green Lantern. For you guys that don't know, this is the OG Green Lantern. This is the Green Lantern who has for a little bit now been gay out of nowhere. And there, of course, that happened. But I just want to be clear, that happened before Tim Sheridan.
Yes.
They're really diving into this in this story. And this is what he had to say to the fans. I'm going to turn this up. Audience, let me know if you get any audio problems or anything, but I think we're good to go. So let's listen to Tim Sheridan, and then myself and Az will give our commentary.
Hey, I'm Tim Sheridan, writer of DC's Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, and I just opened up a box of advanced copies of issue 1, which look amazing. This is the main cover, which also gets a virgin foil variant, and that's by the great and powerful David Talaski. There's also 2 other amazing variants, one by John K. Snyder III, and this beautiful portrait by Nick Robles. I am here to ask...
I apologize. Like I said in my video before, there's going to probably be 20 more of those variants that are going to be on the way. Just throwing it out there.
Do you a favor. The book comes out next Tuesday, October 24th, but already the haters and the queerphobes are out in force, doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. They use code.
I hired the National Guard of America.
But
no, I'm only joking. I actually went to South America. I spoke to a cartel. I said, how much for you to go to the DC factory, the comic making factory, because that's where comics come from. And I need you to break in, eradicate everyone inside. I want C4 on the machines, exploding them up. This comic can't come out. And they said, we'll do it for 2 packets of cigarettes. And I said,
sold.
You drive a hard bargain, but we're done. Okay. So Tim is right that people are trying everything in their power to prevent a comic book shop owner from putting a book on a shelf. Apparently.
So says Tim Sheridan. Let's give him some more time to explain his perspective on us supposed queerphobes, as he's called us.
Yeah.
The truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper ranks of the DCU.
Alan Scott is not in the upper ranks of the DCU.
No, he's not. I if I give him the benefit of the doubt, he has to be referring to just Green Lantern, like as a brand.
Yeah, as a brand.
As a brand, which is what I'm guessing that he's referring to. But here's my thing, man. I remember doing a video. It was either Tomasi or was it Tinian? I can't remember which one of them did it. This is when I was still reviewing stuff, and there was a trans character, and you only knew that character was trans if they told you, right? It was like it wasn't like what I'm actually doing, guys. I'm giving them credit for doing it. That was the way. There was no big like social media push or anything. It was just in there. It was in I think it was the Detective Comics book where one of the who was it in that book with, I can't remember. It might have actually been in that book that had Batwoman going around with all those monsters and shit.
I am literally bringing up the image of the woman who's wearing Orphan's costume. Well, I say woman very loosely. They're a person wearing Orphan's costume, holding a baseball bat which has the trans flag wrapped around them.
Yeah,
and they are saying, please, I'm a trans woman in Gotham. Of course, I have a weapon.
That I remember. So that
well, they kind of gave themselves away there. Yes, it's in your pants. It's in your pants.
I remember that one. She had the baseball bat. It's like, who the fuck talks like that anyway? But yeah, she had the baseball bat. I think we covered this I'm pretty positive I did a video on this. And yes, they had that the trans flag wrapped around the fucking bat. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So when you have instances like that, or you can have instances that I was mentioning before, where it's like, okay, if it's subtle, it's like whatever. Oh shit, I picked that up. But that's not what's happening here, right? And I think that while there may be a problem, like, yeah, people are gonna take issue with you kind of using maybe the Green Lantern brand doing that in the first place, when the recognizable characters surrounding the Green Lantern are going to, whether it be even if you include Scott or Jordan or John Stewart or what have you. And yes, there's many more these days. I get it, right? I totally understand that. But when the lack of self-awareness for the guys like the Tim Sheridans of the world, because he's doing this video, right? And we'll continue here in a bit, to try to get at folks like ourselves that would obviously take exception. But what he's doing here is precisely the problem. And that is, you're leading in this whole video, right? He doesn't say shit about, by the way, when he's selling it, right? I'm not saying that he can't talk about other shit. People can't question him or people can't interview. I'm not saying that. But this is a pitch, right? He's saying that I want you to go buy it. He hasn't mentioned jack shit about what's in his book as far as its story. Well, we know it's a literal gay story, right? We know that much. But he doesn't even give you that. What he's mentioning here is it's spiteful. Essentially, is what it is. It's like, hey guys, please, because you don't like these guys, these people that we've deemed as bad people, you need to buy this, right? Like that's what he's leading with, to sell it, like to actually sell it. I know there's crack smokers out there that thought, they wrongfully think that, because they project, right? They say, hey, well, isn't this what Ripper does? I was like, you haven't seen me do Now trailer, where I'm like, hey guys, want to take it to the fucking leftists? Buy ISOM. Like, who the fuck? Like, I'm not spending that much. I'm not spending $300,000 to take it to the fucking left. Like, that's a bad investment. It's a dog shit investment. I never do something like that. But that's what they do, right? And that's what it's funny, because before now, you'd have people gaslighting you, saying that this type of shit doesn't exist. We're like, they do this to signal, and they think that, well, maybe they may be stupid, but think they may get a couple of sales on this headline or whatever. He is leading with sexuality to sell this book. Make no mistake. He is leading with it. That is the primary core thing that he is leading with. And that is a fundamental problem.
Yeah. Also, this pitch isn't for a customer. This pitch is to his own colleagues.
Peers.
This pitch is to say to his colleagues, look, I said comics gay, and I pushed the same sex. Oh, aren't I great? And his colleagues go, oh, you're so great. We're gonna give you another book that won't sell, that will waste more money, that will plunge us further into trouble because we keep alienating our core audience, because you're so stunning and brave. And Tim will go, yay.
Yeah. That's what they do it for. And that's by the way, just telling you guys, as a businessman, trying to impress your peers is a fucking mistake, because they're not your buyers. They're not your customers. But
not your friends either.
Yeah, that's also
sure as hell aren't that.
Y'all are all holding ideological guns to each other anyway, waiting to cancel fucking each other.
He mentions the word later. We'll probably go into a little bit more depth. He mentions allies. He's talking to his colleagues there. Yeah. And they use the word allies, of course, because there's no friends there, because they will fuck each other over in a heartbeat. Particularly Tim. Tim will be one of the first to go, because you're male for a start, Tim. Your color of your skin isn't helping you right now either way.
That's true.
And your sexuality can come and go in a heartbeat with somebody else. So you are very disposable, mister.
Yep. Let's let Tim finish this out.
The only way you can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success. To prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA plus characters. And that these stories are for everyone, is to buy the heck out of books like this. This one's only 6 issues, and each one has a few variants. So I'm asking, if you have the means, buy them up. Buy extras to give to people you think really need to read it. And you might say, this sounds like a great way for Tim Sheridan to make a bundle in royalties. Well, no, I won't make a penny, because every single royalty I receive from these 6 issues will go straight to a charity that's very important to me and that I've supported for a long time, the Elton John AIDS Foundation.
So close.
It's very important. Does he have? Well, he doesn't have AIDS. But it's important. I don't think he does.
How dare you? How do you know?
Well, that's true. Yeah, I can't. Why am I priest in my kind of?
How dare you assume?
I don't think he does, but it is very important to him. This organization or whatever, and that's where all the money that he gets in royalties, if he actually gets them, that's where they will be going. To the AIDS. What does he say? He's about to say something like AIDS. We'll listen in.
We'll
listen in.
Foundation, which works to prevent HIV stigma and provide compassionate care for all communities.
So stigma, HIV stigma is what it addresses. So.
Sorry, when did you create a time machine and take us back to the 1980s? I thought I was doing a live stream. Who's watching this? Nobody has the internet, Eric.
That's true.
We're talking to ourselves.
That's true. That's true. Stigma.
The stigma of AIDS. Of AIDS. In 2023. Yeah.
I am asking you to join the core. If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness, if you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone.
What does that mean?
Or if you just want to force these Comics Gate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from, please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics.
No.
Everyone needs allies. And if you're an ally, now is the time to step up.
No, I'm not an ally, Tim.
We outnumber.
Like that's a demand, right? That right there is a demand, right? He's like, this is the turn. Yeah, like you better step up as an ally, right? If you call yourself an ally, goddammit, you better step up. This is your chance to do it, and you do it by buying 4 books of Gay Green Lantern.
Remember them. So let's pool our power, vote with our wallets,
so that we can give money to somebody to go, oi, stop being nasty about the AIDS.
Yes.
4 variant covers for Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, to your pull list today. Pick them up in store next week, Tuesday the 24th. Thank you so much.
So it is Wednesday, by the way, guys. So this is if you guys are ready for this thriller, you can go to your comic book shop right now and buy all 4 variants to support AIDS. Excuse me, HIV.
Him getting AIDS.
No, not.
I'm very confused, right?
To support HIV stigma.
Stigma.
Yeah. That's what you're supporting there. Look, on a serious note, like I said, this is, while I will say that, yes, perhaps in a short window, maybe you could strike gold. It'll be few and far between, but some will. By just saying, hey, we exist to spite our ideological enemies, and that's it. And maybe that can work. This one isn't. Maybe that could work. But for genuine long-term success, medium to long-term success, this is not a recipe for success if you guys have aspirations. Look, Ripperverse, leftists being pissed at it is a side effect, right? That was always going to happen. Just wanted to saw success. That's inevitable. We didn't try to do it, right? Like, again, that's not what you don't see that in our code of ethics. You don't see that stuff in our trailers or anything. These guys getting irate was on them. I'm making content. The company's making content for you guys. The customers, it's not for our peers. Our peers can think the shit's the worst thing in the world. Doesn't matter. It's not for them. Or these the allies, right? That's not who it's for. It's for you guys. It's for you guys as customers. And we're not leading with this other shit, like all the social preferences and all that stuff. That's not what it is that we lead with, because again, that's not what this is about, right? That's gonna make for a boring character. The only thing you're selling me, you tell me that the reason that you need to buy more of these is for HIV stigma and to take it to CG and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Tim is displaying the exact reason why there is criticism around this. We've taken a character that was straight and he's been turned gay. And now Alan Scott is gay.
That's all he'll ever be.
He's not Green Lantern. How many times did he really mention Green Lantern in that? None, not really. He was talking about Elton John AIDS Trust. He was talking about sticking it to Comicsgate trolls. He was saying that people sound like they've got legit criticism, but they don't. You know, he's saying everything but. Because Alan Scott has now fallen victim to the ideological change that Tim Drake has fell victim to, that Jonathan Kent fell victim to, that Renee Montoya fell victim to, that Batwoman fell victim to. And as soon as a character gets turned from being straight to gay, being gay is all they'll ever be. That is it. That is their whole personality. Everything that they do will be determined by that beat. They're not allowed to actually exist as a character. They're not allowed to develop character. It's just this character is now gay, therefore gay. Tim Drake book obviously failed after 10 issues. It was, which meant it was pencils down after about 6.
Yeah.
6 issues, you're out. You're finishing at 10. See you later. Jonathan Kent, 19 issues. Oh, no, it's not cancelled. We're rebranding it to make it more in line. And he's going to have his ongoing series, which actually got turned into a mini series, which I don't even think came out. Oh, well, gone. Batwoman, gone. Renee Montoya, oh, not just a lesbian. Now we'll make her the Question and a lesbian. Gone. Alan Scott, let's wheel him out. Let's wheel him out. Why are we wheeling him out? What story? What great classic story have you got? This Justice Society member from all these years ago. What clever idea have you got that's going to turn Alan Scott into something that contemporary can exist? Oh, we're going to make him gay.
It's fucking boring, man.
It is. It's boring is exactly the word. It's boring.
It's not. It's so uninteresting. It's like, of all the stories, definitely with a character like that who's been around as long as he has been around. I mean, look, man, he is maybe Hal is more popular now, but he was your Green Lantern, right? He's the one that launched this as a brand. And if you are trying to kind of rekindle that or revitalize that, I don't think changing his sexuality is going to do you fucking any good. And I spoke with this about Tim Drake with Chuck Dixon, Alpha Core writer. And I remember him bringing this up, and he's like, okay, so they turned him gay. Did they make him more interesting?
No. It made him boring.
Yeah.
It made him one-dimensional. He did a Bobby. He turned into a femi boy.
Yeah.
That his boyfriend, his regular fucking boyfriend, could creep up on Tim fucking Drake and go, could she? And then go, oh!
Like he turns into a flamboyantly gay person now. Like, that's what he is. So he's, again, when you talk about personality change, now it didn't make any sense in the first place to do it, considering that what we just saw with him and Stephanie Brown. But now he's like flamboyantly gay. Like, he's still almost stereotypically gay now. It's really how they handle most of these gay characters. You do all kinds of just really, they can't just be normal people. Like, it's like they are flamboyantly gay now, which is a character change. It's a vital character change if you don't understand that, right? That's
the Alan Scott, though. The Alan Scott is about a story about him being blackmailed into a homosexual relationship by J. Edgar Hoover. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is this for? Is this for Richard Nixon? Hey, Richard Nixon, can we dig your body up? We've got a story. We've got a story that's got J. Edgar Hoover in it. All right, what? It's about this gay couple. Oh, no. Okay. Who's it? You're trying to tap into the youth of today. You're trying to talk to the youth of today. So you're doing a story about fucking J. Edgar Hoover.
I don't get it.
What are they fucking smoking?
I don't get it. None of it makes sense. It's illogical. It's fucking illogical, and someone greenlit it, and I think that also speaks to a leadership problem with DC right now, right? Yeah, Marvel too, both of them. But I always think when I see stuff like this happens, I always think of the levels that it had to pass through before it was approved officially, and then it went to obviously go to print, and now it's on the shelves, right? And it's like nobody there said, "Nah, bro, I don't think this is the move." Nobody said that because, like, to people's point, what to Az's point, excuse me, for you guys that don't know, he's not being. It's not tongue in cheek. What he's saying, as far as that's the storyline, that is literally the story. Like that's the whole premise of it. Is
J. Edgar Hoover will out him as homosexual if he doesn't get into a gay relationship with him.
And he does say, he says something along the lines, I think, Sheridan, where he's like, what did he say? He said that, oh, hey, Alan doesn't have sexual relations with J. Edgar Hoover in the book. He was like, I'm sorry I had to come out and say that. It's sad that I did. I'm like, well, you the one set the shit up. I mean,
yeah,
to be fair, but either way, that is the core premise of it, right? It is that he's he's gay and he's afraid of being outed as such, right? That's that's the whole point of this run, right? It is exactly that. I don't know who that's for. I'm not sure who that exactly appeals to, other than him and his peers may think, hey, that was a creative story. This is awesome. This is great. We'll pat each other on the back. We may win a couple of GLAAD awards. We'll get nominated for some Oscars, but we won't sell shit. We won't sell a goddamn thing. But you're gonna get all the pats in the world. You're gonna get the admiration from the people, your colleagues.
McDonald's are gonna give you some gold stars. They are
sure.
All of the gold.
But the people that actually it should matter to are gonna reject it if they even give it the time of day. And most of them won't. Most are gonna just read it, just the premise of that, and they're gonna be like, I'm fucking out. Like, this is as modern day as it get. I'm out. I want no part of this. I don't want any part of this shit.
They do it themselves, because nobody has ever stopped somebody from making a comic, even if they could. No one's doing that. Well, apart from tortiously interfering with others. However, nobody is stopping others from creating stories about things which mean something to you. Let's take just Tim and creating a story, a homosexual, a story about homosexual issues. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. Nobody's saying you're not allowed to do this. Nobody's saying fuck off for doing this. You're the problem. It's your side that's the problem, because you're taking an existing character that has been straight and then you're co-opting them for a start. Then you're denying any criticism and calling it bigotry.
Yep.
Because people are like, create something new, create a new character, create a new Green Lantern and do it with a new Green Lantern. But they won't do that. Even though Green Lantern does have some sway, you could have created a whole new Green Lantern. But you couldn't in today's day and age, because you've already played your cards. You've already shown your hand. Back in the day, you might have got away with it. But you're coming out and you're the one who's demanding everything. So all that they are doing is they are putting people off. Even the most tolerant of people, they are putting off.
True.
Because they're not trying to sell a comic anymore. They're selling ideology. That's what they're trying to sell. And so regular people have got no problem. I got no problem if somebody writes a comic about gay characters and brings it up. I don't think, it's going to have to be the mecca of all bloody comics if you want it to go mainstream. But it won't, because we don't have the actual balance in society for that to happen. Because, hello, we are. I hate to say this, Ripper, and I don't want to get your channel into trouble. We are binary with gender. And you do need one from each of those genders to create a new one. A new person going forward. And that is the way that humanity is defined. There are people who aren't that way. But that's about 3% of a 97% world. So you can't expect a story like that to be mainstream or hit mainstream, but you're acting like it should, and you're acting as if you deserve to. And basically, you're acting like a child.
True.
You're acting like a child who thinks they deserve all the toys and all the dessert and all the party food when you don't. You don't, just because of one facet, one trait, something which doesn't or should not define exactly who you are, but that's what you want to define everything that the character is. And so you're probably going to hit a niche audience, and you're probably going to sell low because it's a niche audience. Not every great comic sold well. There's a lot of great comics out there which didn't sell well, that had nothing to do with ideology or gender relationships or anything like that, because that's just the nature of the beast. But the industry is so one-sided and so lopsided and so skewed that they of course they understand it, they just want to ignore it.
Yeah.
And then they want to do what all good leftists do, which is play the shame game, the blame game, the intersectional game, the victim game, which is exactly what Tim did. So instead of coming out and just saying, "Oh, I've got a Green Lantern book coming out. It's Alan Scott. We're setting it in the 60s. It's got J. Edgar Hoover. Maybe it's got Kennedy. You know, it's got political intrigue. It's got all this kind of stuff going on. It's a great read. Please go pick it up." That's how you sell your fucking comic book to somebody. You don't come out, start wagging your finger, saying, "You just don't buy the gay book, then you're fucking earning off."
That's what they did.
And
he literally demanded. He demanded it. He demanded that you did. This is your time to step up.
Yeah, allies. Come on, Portlandians. I know you got no fucking money. You ain't got fucking 2 cents to rub together.
Talk about 4 variants. You think they can afford that shit? The people that you appealing to?
Dude, they're gonna smash into a comic book shop and steal it.
Yeah, before
the comic book shop will go out of business. No money will exchange hands.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You got no fucking chance, man. It's economic illiteracy. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it before I get to these super chats was because I do think it's a prime example of everything wrong with modern entertainment right now. And it's not even a quiet part out loud type of situation, because this has been going on, but it's like one of those things to kind of throw into the pot of dog shit, because people have been doing this more and more and more, and you can't allow these guys to gaslight you and act like that's not happening and that's not going down. So again, it's out. It is Wednesday. You can go to your local comic book shop, buy all 4 of those variants, and you can support HIV stigma or addressing HIV stigma, because that's where, if he does get a royalty, that's where your money will be going. So you can go get Alan.
Eric, all I can say is I don't think the Elton John AIDS Trust is going to get a lot. In actual fact, I don't think they're going to get any money, because to earn a royalty,
there has to be a threshold.
Well, you have to sell units to get a royalty.
That's true.
Not going to sell enough units to get a royalty for Tim. Not even close. And what's even funnier is DC don't even give out the numbers to the creators anymore.
Yeah.
So Tim's not going to know how many they fucking sold. They're probably going to tell him, "You did very well, Tim. Oh, what royalties do we get?" Well, let's not go there. Let's just say Elton John is going to have to shout at people about AIDS himself, because we can't hire anyone with your royalties to do that.
He's not going to get much, if anything, guys.
He's not going to get a thing. He's not going to get a thing.
Oh, man. It's really interesting. And I guess he does have that going for them, is that we'll never know, because Penguin Random House is not going to let us know, or whoever it is. I don't know if they have Lunar, whichever one's Lunar. I get them mixed up, and one's Penguin Random House. You'll never know. Those numbers are not public. They're no longer with Diamond, and Diamond doesn't even make their numbers public. It's been about 1.5 years since the last numbers we got. So we'll fucking never know. The best we'll be able to get it will be some point of sales data, maybe from ICV2 or something like that. That's about the best we can do. That'd be about the best we can do. All right.
I mean, even 2 years ago when we had Diamond, when we had Diamond, because they were the only distributor. They were
They were literally the only one. Yeah,
giving the shipped copies. I would be amazed if they shipped 15,000.
Yeah, there's no way there that many.
I would probably put money on it being around 8 to 10 realistically. And that was 2 years ago, and comics aren't even selling like they were 2 years ago.
It's a decline. Make no mistake about it. It's a decline, and it's one hell of a decline. That's just the reality. Up next for the Rippaverse this fall is Alpha Core #1, written by one of the most prolific writers of all time, Chuck Dixon. Penciled by the legendary Joe Bennett. You're not going to want to miss this book. Visit Rippaverse.com to stay up to date and grab ISOM #1 to get caught up on the first appearance of Alpha Core.